Hi Leo, Sun, Moon and Risings. Welcome to your June 2022 horoscope. My name is Cailin and today I'm going to be covering the major transits for the month ahead using tropical astrology and the whole sign system. I strongly recommend that if you're only going to watch one horoscope for this month, that it be your rising sign horoscope, otherwise known as your ascendant sign, and that is because your rising sign horoscope will be the most accurate for you overall. Having said that, the sun sign horoscope for you Leo suns will pertain more to your life goals and your career, whereas the moon sign horoscope will tell you more about your relationships, your family life, your emotional health and well-being, and your property and living circumstances. If you do have time to watch all three horoscopes, please do, because that way they will provide a more well-rounded picture of what you can expect for your month ahead. So let's have a look at the first transit for the month. So on the 3rd of June, Mercury will station direct in the sign of Taurus in your 10th house. So, with Mercury having been retrograde in Gemini in your 11th house, as well as being retrograde in your 10th house, this means that a lot of you Leos will be spending the Mercury retrograde period rethinking and reevaluating your career, your big goals, your dreams for the future, and certainly finances and money and resources could have played a very big part in this reevaluation process. And I'm saying this because Mercury rules over your second house, which is connected to your finances and resources. So by about the 2nd or 3rd of June, you will have basically decided or at least come to some sort of conclusion as to what you want to do with your career, what changes you can make, what responsibilities you either want to take up or let go of. And basically, with the Mercury retrograde period, there's usually a post shadow period for 2 weeks. By usually, I mean there always is. So, for things to really calm down, you'll want to wait till the 17th or the 18th of June. Now, on the 4th/5th of June, depending where you live in the world, Saturn will station retrograde in the sign of Aquarius in your 7th house, and it will station retrograde at 25 degrees. So Saturn spends about 5 months every year being retrograde. So this is nothing that we're not already accustomed to, but certainly for you Leos, relationships will be a very big focus for you while Saturn is in Aquarius, just generally speaking. So Saturn will leave Aquarius in March 2023, and this will be the last retrograde stint of it being in your 7th house. So I know a lot of Leos have been struggling with, well, not necessarily struggling, but there's been a lot of changes to relationships and what you want to see in relationships. Maybe there's been changes to the give and take in relationships, or maybe they've just been hard work for a lot of you, especially for Leo risings. So the 7th house is connected to your one-on-one relationships of all kinds, whether you are married, in a long-term or serious relationship, in a business partnership, and this can also represent your one-on-one client interactions as well as your one-on-one personal friendships. So this can see you spending the next sort of 5 months working on rebuilding these relationships or restructuring them. So basically, Saturn will be retrograde from about the 5th of June until the 23rd of October in 2022. So this can see you basically maybe spending less time socially in your one-on-one relationships. Maybe you don't have as much time for your friends or as much time for your significant other or for your spouse. So this can see you, for some of you, working hard to maintain a relationship. Maybe some of you will be seeing a therapist and seeing how you can restructure the terms of certain relationships and connections. Saturn rules over your 7th house as well as your 6th house. So the 7th house is connected to the law, and the 6th and 7th houses are also connected to legal proceedings and court cases. So some of you may be appealing a court case or trying to contest a decision that was made and get it overturned. Now, on the marriage front, or for those of you who are in a long-term relationship or a serious relationship, your significant other may be going through a time where they are rebuilding their life, or maybe there's a lot of weight on their shoulders, and so they are requiring some extra support from you. On the 11th/12th of June, Venus and Uranus will form a conjunction in Taurus in your 10th house at 16 degrees. And this conjunction occurs about once every year. And this one in particular will actually be making an opposition to the moon in Scorpio in your 4th house. So Venus represents relationships, money, your resources, and your values. And Uranus is connected to anything which is shocking, out of the blue, unexpected. And also, Uranus rules over anything which is premature or happening, earlier than anticipated. So, because this is occurring in your 10th house, this can indicate that there is a sudden career opportunity which you either weren't expecting, or you have to act on this opportunity earlier than what you had basically agreed upon or expected. So let's just say that this collaboration was scheduled for July, mid-July in 2022, or even later than that. And now all of a sudden, for this to go ahead, you need to start putting the wheels in motion around the 11th or the 12th of May. Or maybe you just need to start planning it, earlier. Now, this may see you needing to compromise your living circumstances, and that is because of the opposition to the moon in your 4th house. Sorry, that was my microphone. It is a couple days into Mercury retrograde, so just bear with me, guys. Anyway, because of this opposition to the moon in your 4th house, it may be that you need to change your accommodation plans. Maybe you need to actually relocate from where you're living, whether this is temporarily or permanently, or perhaps your family life is being compromised as a result, or maybe it's your family who are pushing you to take this opportunity. Now, because the 10th house is connected to your career and your professional life, and we've got Uranus ruling over your 7th house, which represents your one-on-one relationships and partnerships, there could be something which is surprising or shocking about an affiliation that you are entering into, or a collaboration which you are engaging in, or perhaps you are entering into a romantic relationship or even a business partnership. So essentially, this can represent you. This can represent you combining forces with another person or with another organization. And because this conjunction is occurring in your 10th house, this can affect your reputation. Maybe this is a shock collaboration. Maybe you have been dating someone for a while, and now, things are getting really serious with this person. Maybe you've become exclusive with this individual, gotten engaged, bought a house together, or you're moving in together. And there's something about this connection with another person where people are like, whoa, I didn't expect this, or this is really early, this is really soon, or this is really out of character. As I'm saying this, it's 11:11 on the clock. So to me, that's just like confirmation that still do what you want to do. This is not to say that you shouldn't do it, or that you should listen to, the blowback or backlash from other people, if there is any. And, it doesn't need to be negative. This could just be like, hey, I didn't think that you would do this or get with that person. Now, on a different level, because Venus rules over your 3rd house, which is connected to communications, anything that you are putting out in terms of content. So whether you're like a YouTuber, maybe you're an educator, maybe you have a blog, or maybe you're writing a book, or maybe you're like a journalist, whatever it is, because Venus rules over your third house and Venus will be conjunct Uranus in your 10th house. This can see whatever you have written going viral or circulating to a very wide audience. This can elevate your position in society, or just like with respect to your reputation and um, your professional life. This can lead to new career opportunities. And, for some of you, this can see you experiencing a sudden surge in popularity. Maybe this can lead to you meeting new people, making new friends, also generating a larger clientele, because your third house, which Venus rules over, represents your client interactions and sales and marketing. So certainly this conjunction in your 10th house can see you, having your work circulated, and this can have a very positive impact on you professionally speaking. Now, this can see you actually quitting your job, breaking up with someone, whether this is going through a divorce or a separation, or even like a shock split from a company that you work with, or just like cutting a contract. On a different level, guys, just know that this conjunction occurring in your 10th house can see you changing up your level of professional duties and responsibilities, whether this is suddenly taking on something new or suddenly letting go of certain jobs and responsibilities. And of course, not all of you are going to be in the workforce. Just know that this can absolutely put your relationships front and center, whether these are friendships as well. Maybe you've started a friendship up with someone and people are like, hey, I didn't think you two would mesh, or I'm surprised that you are associating with this person. And, the 10th house is connected to your visibility and what people are seeing. So whatever you're doing with this conjunction, it is very visible. People are going to know about it. So moving on to the 15th/16th of June, when we are going to see the Mars and Chiron conjunction in Aries at 15 degrees in your 9th house. This conjunction will take place about once every 2 years, and Chiron is considered to be the wounded healer in astrology, and that is based on the Greek mythology, which represents the story of Chiron being a centaur who was fatally wounded. And Chiron was a very gifted healer. He was able to heal everyone in the village. The only person that he couldn't heal was himself. So this represents a core wound that you have as a Leo sun, moon, or rising. So for some of you, this can represent you being acutely aware of an existential crisis that you are having with respect to your faith, your belief systems, whether these are your spiritual beliefs, your religious beliefs, your world beliefs, your political beliefs, whatever it is. The 9th house represents all of your beliefs. And Mars rules over your 9th house anyway, which is Aries, and it also rules over your 4th house, which is Scorpio. So the meeting of Mars and Chiron in this conjunction represents you really having to confront and come face to face with what your beliefs are, why you have these, are they working for you, are they hindering your future development? Are they getting in the way of you reaching your full potential, or even actualizing your full potential? Now, the 15th degree in astrology is the Gemini degree. So this represents the information that you are consuming. Now, the 9th house is connected to world events on a large scale. So perhaps constant consumption of certain information pertaining to world events is having a negative impact on you. On a different level, the 15th degree, being the Gemini degree, represents communications. So maybe you are preaching to people and your beliefs could be hurting these other people, because Chiron represents not only the ways in which we are hurt on a physical level or on an emotional or spiritual level, but also the ways in which we're hurting other people. So this can see you coming face to face with how you sharing certain beliefs that you have in potentially a forceful way, because it's Aries, is having a negative impact on your family, because Mars rules over your fourth house. Or maybe it's on the people that you're trying to educate, because you've got Mars ruling over your ninth house. Now, I'm certainly not sitting here chiding you. Just remember, this is a general reading, so I'm going to run through a few different ways that this conjunction can play out for you on a different level. The ninth house is connected to your father figure, teachers who are in your life, coaches of all kinds. So this can see you having a painful conversation with one of those people, or this can see you being really vulnerable with them, and maybe that's hard for you. So this could be a really groundbreaking conversation that you have with them. And for some of you, maybe you are realizing that you would like to be a parent in the future. And I'm saying this because Mars rules over the fourth house and the ninth house. And the ninth house represents your future, and the fourth house represents parenthood. So maybe there's a number of steps that you would have to take in order to turn this dream into a reality. Maybe there's a lot of changes that you need to make in your life. Maybe you're looking at becoming a foster parent or an adoptive parent, or a step parent. And on a different level, this could see you um, having some realizations around travel and education. And maybe these are hard-hitting or difficult realizations or epiphanies that you're having, and you're realizing that you would have to relocate with Mars ruling over your fourth house. Maybe you would have to travel internationally. Maybe your family don't want you to travel. Maybe you need to make adjustments to your property and your living circumstances in order for you to travel, or to embark on some sort of education journey. In any case, because this conjunction will be making a trine to you as a Leo sun, moon, rising, I see this as being a positive thing. This will have a positive impact, even if it's painful at the time. This can lead to some very gratifying results in the future. So moving on to the 22nd/23rd, when Venus will enter the sign of Gemini. This is really, really positive for you. Wherever Venus goes, it will bring some sort of blessing into your life, even though it's only for 3 or 4 weeks, until the 17th/18th of July. Doesn't matter. This is still really positive, because Venus will be making a sextile to you as a Leo sun, moon, rising. And the 11th house is a very fortunate house in astrology. It is connected to your gains, friends, popularity. It's a money house as well. So with Venus here, over this 3 or 4 week period, you can meet new people, make new acquaintances, become more popular. You may be making new friends. You may be receiving help from a friend. Now, you can join a new community. If you have a community of your own, and this could even be like your social media platform or following, doesn't have to be though. This can see you receiving some sort of financial or monetary gain with respect to your community. There could be growth in this department. More people could be joining. People could be spreading the word about a community that you have started, or even just your platform. On a different note, you could be enjoying some new collaborative opportunities, especially because Venus rules over your third house, which represents connections and collaborations, as well as the 11th house. Venus also rules over your 10th house. So this could be elevating your career and your reputation. You could start to earn a residual income, or you could start to receive dividends from something that you've already got in motion. The 11th house is connected to prizes, awards, and recognition. And because Venus rules over your 10th house, this can see you receiving recognition for something that you've done in your career, or maybe you are receiving an award for something that you've done in your career. And because Venus rules over the 10th house and the 11th house is connected to money that we receive from because Venus rules over the 10th house and it's in the 11th house, this can indicate that you are receiving money from the government or from a large corporation, or there could even be an increase that comes through in your pay and in your salary. Now, on the 28th of June, Neptune is going to station retrograde in the sign of Pisces, and this will be occurring in your 8th house at 25 degrees. Like Saturn, Neptune spends 5 months every year being retrograde. So it will be retrograde until, I think it's the 4th of December. And this can see you actually becoming more intuitive, becoming more psychic, understanding how you can hone these intuitive abilities of yours. Maybe you'll have more of a conscious awareness of how to do this. And for some of you, because the 8th house is connected to healing as well as intuition, and it's also the house which represents, which rules over psychology, this can see you increasing the intensity of whatever healing journey you're on. Maybe you are practicing Reiki, maybe you're receiving Reiki sessions, maybe you're seeing a psychologist, and now you're going to have more sessions with this psychologist. Now, on a different level, this can see you understanding your fears, your triggers, and maybe even doing some work to let go of traumatic experiences or try to heal from them. We can't always let go of them, but this can see you upping the ante with regard to this healing journey that you're on. Now, lastly, the 8th house is connected to your mutual resources, and Neptune is a planet which represents sacrifices. So, for some of you, you may have to sacrifice some of your mutual resources in order to help another person, because Neptune is connected to generosity and donations and helping other people, and it is also connected to um, people who can't help themselves. So this can see you donating some of your money to another person or your resources, or this could see you actually having to accept money from another person and accept resources from another person. And I'm saying this because Neptune can represent the donations that we either give or that we receive. So if you struggle with your ego, if you struggle with being proud, if you struggle with asking for help, receiving help, whether this is literally just emotional support or whether this is actually receiving fiscal help or resources from another person, this could be a really humbling experience, which would be congruent with this Neptune retrograde energy. So maybe you are having to actually reach out to someone and say, I need help. Can you give me a leg up? Can I borrow some money? Or, can you donate your time and your resources to, whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, or whatever it is that you need. Now, Neptunian energy is connected to illusions, deception, anything which represents exploitation. And with Neptune being retrograde in your 8th house and with the 8th house ruling over mutual resources, this can see you uncovering and becoming aware of someone taking advantage of your resources, whether this is fraudulent behavior, embezzlement, actual literal theft. Neptune being retrograde can see you removing the veil and seeing more clearly. Things aren't as foggy because you are focusing more of your psychic abilities, your intuitive abilities, and just like your your intuition on what is going on with your mutual resources. Why is my bank account lower than normal? Why is my partner, being shady, or my business partner, or, where is this money disappearing? This can be you noticing strange activity with respect to your mutual resources. And for some of you, remembering that this is a general reading, if you have been engaging in these fraudulent behaviors yourself, whether this is tax evasion, embezzlement, or whatever, this can see your actions actually being uncovered or discovered by another person. So, moving on to the 29th of June. On the 29th of June, we are going to see Venus in Gemini in your 11th house, making a sextile to Jupiter in Aries in your 9th house. This is such an awesome transit. I love, love, love this. I wanted to end your reading on a high. So essentially, sextiles have the energy of, or they carry the energy of Venus, and this represents an opportunity which will be presented to you, in the last 2 or 3 days of the month. And the thing is, with sextiles, we have to actually capitalize on this energy. We have to take it with both hands, and, you either have to initiate it or accept the offer and really be active in the exchange that is coming through here. So let's just have a look at what the 11th house means and what the 9th house means. Just a little recap. The 11th house represents your friends. It is a money house. It is a house which is connected to awards, recognition, gains, collaborations, your acquaintances, and your wider network. And Venus rules over your 10th house. So this can really, have an impact on your career and your reputation. On a different note, the 9th house is connected to seeing the bigger picture, your vision for the future. It is connected to publishing, circulation, import, export, travel, and education. So just knowing this, we can sort of combine the themes of travel plus friends, education plus friends or acquaintances, meeting new people, expanding your status, spiritual enlightenment, and also money. So this can see a friend or friends offering an opportunity for you to travel. Maybe they're going to take care of the plane ticket, or maybe they're going to take care of the accommodation. Maybe you are traveling and you meet new friends while you were traveling. Maybe they're just paying for an opportunity for you while you are abroad. And certainly when you are traveling overseas, this can see you expanding your career opportunities, maybe somehow making money via travel. So maybe you're overseas and there's a paid opportunity that comes up on a different level. This can see your friends encouraging you to take on a higher form of education. Maybe you are going to study with friends, and this can expand your opportunities that way. Maybe there's a um, a spiritual or religious event which is taking place, because the 11th house is connected to events, and maybe you're able to join a new community which is connected to an event. Now, on a different level, the 9th house and the 11th house are connected to your dharma, good fortune, good luck, and essentially you can have a very fortuitous and exciting opportunity or experience that comes through, which allows you to see the bigger picture. Maybe this is allowing you to scale your business a bit more, or this will allow you to see the ways in which you can elevate your career and your professional life, and really just see that the sky is the limit and that you don't have to put these restrictions and limitations on you. Honestly, guys, this could even just be an amazing eye-opening opportunity or conversation that you have, and this is just like a moment where you're like, hey, I know what I want to do. I know what I want to do with my career or with my business. I know what I want to do with education. I want to go back to study. I want to do my master's. I want to become a teacher. I want to become a life coach. I know what my long-term goals and dreams are for the future. And so, Leo, on that note, I hope you enjoyed this horoscope. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. If you would like to see more content on this channel, please hit the subscribe button. If you'd like to book a one-on-one private reading with me, you can do so via the link in the description box below. Enjoy your month ahead, Leos, and I will see you guys for your season next month in July.